Internet-driven technology has revolutionized how global entrepreneurs meet for business. Still, nothing takes the place of a face-to-face meeting with your vendors, customers, or partners. That's why I'm a firm believer in private jet travel. Thanks to my friends at Dreamflight Luxury Travel, long lines, canceled flights, and embarrassing screenings are no longer an issue. Time is money, especially when you need to transport your staff, investors, or clients to a major or remote site around the world. The friendly people at Dreamflight Luxury Travel can create a custom solution for you through their world-renowned Dreamflight Plus card program. Visit them at flydflt.com. Again, one word, flydflt.com. Or simply call them at 1-866-969-3358. Again, that number is 1-866-969-3358 to find out about the Plus card and tell them Jonyprofit sent you. Ironically, the smart employee often receives more work and less pay, while the smart entrepreneur ends up earning more money from less work. Which is more appealing to you? On Saturday, March 19th, you will have the opportunity to experience the E to E transition. Your experience and talents will always have a value in the marketplace. This private 2-hour group training session will literally show you how to convert employee skills into entrepreneurial wealth. We go beyond small business talk. This is about real-world opportunities that need your expertise, and they are willing to pay you for it. To register for the Saturday, March 19th training session, visit e2etransition.com or call 1-888-380-4249. This is one investment you will not regret.
You're listening to the Global Entrepreneur Radio Show on 1480 AM. Give us a call at 713-784-1480. 713-784-1480.
Hello and welcome back. I do welcome your calls. If you want to call up here and you have some questions about what you should do with your business or how you should go about it, it's 713-784-1480. Real easy number to remember. So when we left, we were just talking about social networking, getting out there, attending every chamber function and all that stuff. Again, I'm not knocking it, but you got to understand that if you're going to focus all your energy to go out there and make money, there's two ways to do it. I have lots of friends that are very, very, very well off that have operated their business as what I call an employee for years. All you need is people to give you money. Now, for that person that can't sit still, can't hold a job, can't get along with your boss, can't, for whatever reason, just seem to function within the constraints of somebody else's system, that's where we come in. I was that guy. I didn't do well. I'm the startup king. When it comes to building companies, that's what I do because I have a knack for looking around and watching the human behavior of people. So it was one of those no-brainers after a couple corporate positions, a couple government positions, a couple other positions, and I thought to myself, this isn't me, and I know there's a huge group of folks out there just like me. So again, if you're a small business owner and you want to stand in that shop all day long, thank you. You are the backbone of society. Again, small business is what makes this thing go around. But again, there's a small group of people out there that I truly believe that if you just knew how to tap into this market just like a day trader would do, where they can look out there and look across the horizon and say, here's the next need coming online. I have the talent, which in most cases an investor have the money, but in yours, you're bringing intellectual capital to the game. And so for you to be able to just close up that shop you opened, knowing that you just left General Electric and you know how to build power plants, and come talk to us. And let's go out and make some big money. So, okay, we're back. We're going to ask questions. And Stephanie's now here with us. Tina's here with us. And Faith is working the board and asking questions. Incredible. Multitasking. Incredible interviewer.
I love it. Girl power.
Go ahead.
All right. So the next question I have is, to be honest, sometimes I'm not really sure what in the world I'm doing. But I figure, hey, you know what? I'm just going to wing it. I'm just going to say something that sounds right, and hopefully that'll just get the job done, and I'll seal the deal. But for some reason, you seem to think otherwise. Why?
Ooh, well, Facebook occupies way too much of my time. I'm probably going to start seeking therapy for it. But here's what happens, okay? And I hear this a lot. It was an old adage people had, which was to fake it until you make it. And I couldn't stand that term because not too many things you could fake it till you make it. And what I mean by that is, pretend you're something you're not until you get there. And when you do that, you literally take yourself out of position to have those that are looking at you or watching you to help you. Because if you're faking it, I just assume that you haven't made it. I don't know that you're pretending. I don't know that your bag is fake. I don't know that your car isn't paid for. I don't know that your office and all this. I don't know that. So if I'm standing there with a group of investors, we're looking at you like, oh, well, you got it going good. Let's find somebody that actually needs our help. So I encourage people not to sit out here and fake it till you make it. And it's a huge, huge, huge problem. So what you do is you present yourself in the best light. Wash your face in the morning, clean up, whatever. You drive a car that's respectable. You don't have to have a 2000 current year to think people are going to respect you. In the open market, we respect people that can bring solutions. So if you're looking for the ideas or you're getting dressed up, you don't have to put on a bunch of glass diamonds to show up to an event in River Oaks, because if you show up and you got all this glass diamonds on, we're going to assume you have some money, or we're going to assume you're a fraud, which is even more the reason why we wouldn't do business with you. So stop faking it until you make it. Unless you're a small business owner and you got to sell hope, then you keep making people feel like they can do great things because you have.
Okay, but to me, that puts me in a bit of a bind.
Okay.
So there are times where, yes, you may not know 100%, of what the project entails, but 80%, and you know that in getting in that project, you will get up to 100%. So in that sense, do you see it, the same as faking it?
Well, the fake it part is saying you can do things you can't do. That's why I've always had an issue with people in marketing. Because you're telling me that, not you, dear, Stephanie, you can build websites, videographer. Sheila gave me that look like,
skilled.
I think I was holding on to the rail as I was being pushed out this window up here on the 12th floor. But, the thing is, when you say that you can clean my house, okay, when you can, don't, again, live up to the expectations that you're putting out there. I mean, that's the big thing. Steph, what do you, I mean,
absolutely. I think that it's definitely a misnomer for you to walk around and say that you can do this, you can do that. Or I love it that you've already done it. You've already created, one of the hottest platforms. You've already done this. You've built a website that reaches millions in a day. And it's really unnecessary. I think if you're just transparent about the fact that this is what I can do, I'm not even sure if I can do anything with it, but here I am, and can you help me? Mm-hmm. I think that that's a lot more viable in the marketplace than running around saying that you've done all these things to impress people,
right,
as opposed to getting into a position where you can be impacted.
Which is different. So, Faith, here's the deal. Let's say that you join something like the Houston Club or the Greater Houston Partnership, something like that, all right? You want to be around the big dollars. To walk up in there as though you've already made it versus walking up in there to let them know that I'm here to help, I want to do my part, I'm eager, I want to learn. That's the approach. But unfortunately, I know of a lot of people that get up in there, flashing and dashing, acting as though they're old money.
Right.
Okay. When it's like, well, if you weren't at the last event, you faking it. So we got to watch that one because they're trying to get into our pockets.
So it's almost like it's good to be knowledgeable, but a little bit of that, I guess, being humble, being a little vulnerable. Humility is a better word. That's kind of what you're talking about here?
Yeah, I mean, I think pride, like I said, pride, pressure, usually when you start a business, especially if it's that third or fourth or fifth one that has not made it, you feel obligated to cover yourself by telling other people that, this is it, this is the big one, I'm going to make it, and, I already got this person lined up and that person lined up. I can tell you this, I have wasted so much money on fake it till they make it. I give you $2,500 to do this, you don't come through. I give you $500 to do that. So it's important to understand that I'm not speaking in terms of how you dress. You don't really have to wear fake stuff. You can wear real stuff. And then one day, again, I won't even get into that. But the point is, the faking it till you make it must end, because we won't know that you need help if you're pretending like you don't.
Right.
Okay.
And that whole, fake jewels and fake purse thing just kind of segued into a question that I had here. And that pretty much goes with money.
Yeah.
If I want to start a business, I don't have that much money, and I figure, hey, why don't I just go to a bank? I've got pretty decent credit. Why don't I go for it? What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, banks are fine. But at the end of the day, if you stop and think about this now, small business owner, and if you're a employee type small business owner, employee mindset, your thought is, banks have all the money. I wish I could know a banker. I wish the banks would give me all their money. But if you're an entrepreneur, you've already seen the landscape and you're thinking to yourself, where do banks get their money from? Either Uncle Sam or a subsidiary of Uncle Sam's printed out,
True,
or off the deposits. So why would I incur that extra fee from a bank when I could just take it to the person who just put their money in the bank?
Makes sense.
Because a banker isn't going to help my business as far as tell me what to do, but a vested partner that comes in with money and business experience and cash to burn is going to help me down the road. So, I mean, banks are, I use their ATMs, I pay their fees for really fancy accounts, but we don't do banks in entrepreneur world.
But that seems easier said than done to me, because I have access to the bank.
Right.
Clearly.
Great
but
credit.
I don't have access maybe to the person who gave the money to the bank. So how do I get to them?
You always have access to anybody you need to touch. And the trick of the whole purpose of not going the bank route is, if you have good credit, if you can go out there and you can borrow and borrow and borrow, why would you leverage that type of resource against some speculation or a process of educating yourself in business? Go out there and prove to someone that has the money and the experience, that has a vested interest, that, this project is worth it. I see what you're doing, so will you help me? And so it just kind of, you can do it, but I think Buffett said it best. Why would you invest things that are important to you in things that aren't? And so it's one of those, you got to stop and think about this. The banks are great. They're holding centers. They're hubs. They make their money off of fees and stuff. They're not in the business of making a better business for you. They want you to prosper because they want to make more fees and they want to hold more money in their deposits. But when you stop and look across this city, and I'm looking at all the I'm looking down, there's a very expensive car here, there's expensive cars over there, there's beautiful homes all around me. Those people have equity, and obviously they did something right. So you approach a group, there's plenty of investor groups around town, and a lot of times it's the small business owner or the retired postal worker or the physician or the lawyer that have the resources that when you meet up with them, you say, I have an idea, I want to run it past you. So.
Okay. Well, we've only got about 30 seconds, so I'll just ask my question real quick. And
okay.
Then,
And we'll come back from break and discuss it more.
So, as you was mentioning earlier, everyone's got Facebook and everybody's got a blogging side and a talking side and a look at me side and everything. And, I'm thinking I maybe only have like 100 followers, or maybe even 5. Like, what am I doing wrong? Is it getting out there? What do I need to do?
Yeah, we're definitely going to discuss that after break. Basically, in a nutshell, you're not bringing anything to the market, or you're not letting them know that you have something in the market, or worse yet, what you're saying is not what they want to hear. So with that said, why don't you take us to break, and when we come back, we'll have Stephanie and Carlos and Tina and Faith, you, right back here waiting for you.
Here we go.
SCORE, Counselors to America's Small Business, is a nonprofit association dedicated to entrepreneur education and the formation, growth, and success of small businesses nationwide. SCORE has 389 chapters and locations throughout the United States and its territories, with 10,500 volunteers nationwide. SCORE, founded in 1964, is a resource partner with the United States Small Business Administration. Houston, Texas chapter of SCORE, with more than 70 volunteers, has been helping entrepreneurs and small business owners in Houston for over 40 years. They are real-world professionals with time-tested knowledge who donate thousands of hours to help small businesses succeed. Counselors are experts in areas such as accounting, finance, marketing, management, and business plan preparation. You can visit them at their main office at 8701 South Gessner here in Houston, Texas, or just give them a call at 713-487-6565. Check them out online at scorehouston.org. Ironically, the smart employee often receives more work and less pay, while the smart entrepreneur ends up earning more money from less work. Which is more appealing to you? On Saturday, March 19th, you will have the opportunity to experience the E to E transition. Your experience and talents will always have a value in the marketplace. This private 2-hour group training session will literally show you how to convert employee skills into entrepreneurial wealth. We go beyond small business talk. This is about real-world opportunities that need your expertise, and they are willing to pay you for it. To register for the Saturday, March 19th training session, visit e2etransition.com or call 1-888-380-4249. This is one investment you will not regret.